I already have that in the book.
To make a 9-inch 2-crust pie, put in 2/3 cup plus 2 tablespoons of shortening, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt.
2 10-inch crust pie. Okay, now we just mix this up. You don't have to do that. You got the directions right up here. Now you just do this till it comes like peas.
So that's just, so this is a 2-crust 9-inch pie.
Yeah.
We've got 2/3 a cup of shortening plus 2 tablespoons of shortening. Then 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of salt.
Okay, now you what do you call this?
The pastry cutter.
Take a pastry cutter and just do it until it's about the size of peas. It doesn't matter if it's a little, you know.
Okay.
Just so it's well mixed up. 4 tablespoons of water, but I usually put about 5 in.
Okay.
You want to just put that in gradually, not all at once. Here's a tablespoon. You're going to do a couple of them to start with.
And it's really cold
Very
water.
Cold. Now there was 2 teaspoons. Okay, I usually just use. Okay, so now we've got 2 tablespoons of water in here, and you sort of mix it up gradually. You just want it so that it'll all hang together. That was 2. Now be careful when you do it. Sort of sprinkle it around. Okay, there's 4. Now you just sort of do it till it's kind of clump. And the less stirring, the better, really. Now that's clumping up pretty well. But just to make sure, I'm going to put a little bit more. It's the 5. And I don't want to get it, I want it sort of where it hasn't been. There. Now that's going to be enough water probably. All right. Now, this is going to make 2 pie crusts full. So we're going to divide it into 2 parts, just sort of judge it.
Go.
Make sure that you flour this first. Get it really all floured up. If you don't do this enough, it's going to stick, and then it's sort of a mess. So be sure it gets well covered. Here's some that I missed a little bit. Now you want to do the same thing to the cloth. You want to get it so that it's not going to stick. And you just sort of very gently rub it in about a little over the size of your crust, what it's going to be. And if you really have to use a pastry cloth for this because nothing else works very well. Okay, now I'm just going to eyeball this to about take this and sort of get it all clumped up. We might need to have a little more water in there. Seems like there's a lot of flour in it. Yep, it's not hooking together yet. I'm going to put a little more water in. You have to sort of judge it a little bit. That ought to do it. Where's my fork? Did I swallow it? Okay. So you want to make sure that it's sort of going to gunk together.
Well, that's going to take all your
just because we're videotaping. Now you be sure you get your hands full.
Okay.
Dip them right in there. Okay. Now, we want to get it so it sticks together. Gonna need a little more than that. It's just like making a snowball. You want just to go till it's sticking together nicely. But you don't want to do it too much or else it'll get, what should I say?
Gummy.
Now you
Too
never know.
sticky.
Sometimes this is easy and sometimes you may as well throw it all in the pan and press it because it doesn't always come out beautifully. Okay, that's enough. I don't want to do it too much. You're going to find the spot and you're going to press it down and just press it together, sort of. Okay, now this is well floured, so you're just going to start doing this. Come on. Oh, great rolling pin. It's got ball bearings in it. Yeah, I don't have anything so fancy. I think this must have been Grandma Odd's. She's the one that had the fancy stuff. My mother's is just a wooden thing. Now if you see it breaking around, you can just press it together a little bit. Now, up the same.
So this is a 9-inch pie plate.
Okay. Now, you know, this isn't the way you're really supposed to do it. Don't show this.
Okay.
I just do this sometime because it's a little easier than folding it. That isn't how they tell you to do it.
Wow.
See, that held together pretty well. But then you center it, then you just go like this. Turn it ends under. Now, looks like we need a little more there. So I just rob Peter to pay Paul. Roll it under. Now, yeah, ideally, you'd probably want to have a little more crust there, but I never mind it if it doesn't have a lot of crust because I don't need a lot of crust on the outside. Sort of just depends on how it goes. Okay, now you put a little more flour between your fingers and go like this. You crimp it. This isn't a perfect crust, but I'm not out for perfection. I just want to get it done. Because it tastes all right no matter what. See, if I'd been ideal, I would have had the same amount of crust all the way around, not have some little places. But it'll turn out all right. Honestly, whatever you do turns out usually okay. You're not going to have, if you were doing the top crust, then you would just do a little bit and then cut around and seal them together. But you're doing just the crusts, one pie per crust. Okay. I'm just going to let the little crumbs go into the next one. See, it's very unmanageable right now. I'm going to do this. This isn't what you usually do, but it's so crumbly that I'm going to just do this by itself. Because it has to stick together. Okay. All right. I'm just going to leave that down there, see how it works out. Might not work out at all, but I think it'll be all right. Don't take a picture of this, because this isn't the way you're supposed to do it.
Okay.
You're supposed to have it in a ball, and then, but it's so crumbly. All right. Don't take pictures of this, because this isn't the real. I'm just trying to get it so it all forms together.
Okay.
Okay. Floured, or else it'll stick. Okay. Keep your fingers crossed on this one. Don't take pictures of this. This is not how it usually turns out.
The entrance.
I'm going to do this and see what happens. We'll make it do even if we have to put it in. See what we can do here.
Mm-hmm.
This is terrible. This is what you don't want to have happen. But that's all right. It'll turn out okay. All right, now we've got to do a little patching up here. If you roll it out the way you're supposed to, you wouldn't have to do all that fussing. So flaky that if usually when I do it, I put it in half and then put the pan here and then roll it out. But if I do this with this one where I piece it, it would all fall apart. So I'm just going to put it underneath and flip it like I did the last time. That's not what the books tell you to do. Okay? Got it?
Yep, got it.
This is just something I invented for crust that's not cooperative.
Wow.
But you've got to do a little fixing up here. This is what you call a flop of a crust. It didn't work out very well, but you make do. It's going to be flaky. You can see that. Okay. Ooh, that was a little not a good trim. All right, that's going to have to do.
So now we're going to make a 2-crust pie. So we don't crimp it right now.
No. Unless you want to make this crimp, because we got a lot of stuff on the edge. Do you want this? Try, just do it for 2-crust pie?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I do this. But I have to make sure I've got all the holes covered. Okay. I think that could be the big one.
All right, yum.
Oh, I don't want you to show me to do this. I don't want to cut it in half.
Okay.
This will be all right.
Magic.
Not exactly, but it'll work. That's going to be fine, fine, fine. Then I'm going to put this right over here. This you should, if you do it right, you wouldn't have to patch it like this. I hate to have you showing me patching it all over.
Well, I just want to see the real way to make pie crusts. And you have to do a little troubleshooting.
You sure do. Okay, now this is the big one, so I'm just going to trim it. But I want to make sure that I've got enough to trim. See, this is terrible looking. There. That's going to have to be all right.
What is this, Mormor?
What's what?
That.
Top crust.
So we're making a blueberry pie.
Okay, now we're going to try and put this on the top. Okay, let's see how it fits. I think it'll be okay. I might take a little off of here because it's all crumbly anyway, and see where I can put it. Maybe here. I don't know, we'll just do the best we can with it. All right, wish me luck. That's not the way you're really supposed to do it, but it worked out okay.
Look at that.
We barely made it with enough crust. Let's get that out of the way. Whoa, it's going to be nice crust. Now you want to sort of fold it under so that it holds the juice in. Roll it under. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it under. Roll it under. Roll it under and say a little prayer. There. And before you bake this in your brand new oven, put a little tin foil underneath it, so if it boils over, you don't get your new oven all full of blueberries. Then it'll smell like burned every time you turn your oven on. An ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure. Now you press it to seal it in. There. Now you have to puncture the top. And I'll let you puncture. What do you want to be?
No, you do it. I want to see what you do.
No, I don't know. I just do this.
Beautiful.
There. Sometimes I put a little bee in the middle. But, okay.
All right, hold up your masterpiece.
That isn't a masterpiece. It's as it is. Just put a little glistening on. There, that's all. Was so gut.